pasar de sana en todo el atrecho del Kilimanjaro Safari. Bienvenidos a Kilimanjaro Safari. Para su seguridad, permanezcan sentados y return to Kilimanjaro. When it comes to safari, we go walk. Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. Before you begin your trip, you should know that
Carefully, everyone, that does mean welcome in Swahili. So welcome aboard. Slide all the way in for us, please. Make sure you like those seats. We can't change them once we're out there. Alrighty, my friends on the right, watch those hands, arms, legs, feet. Doors are about to slide closed. Asante sana Wardena does mean thank you in Swahili, and we also say Twende, that means let's go! Jambo, Jambo everyone, my name is Jess, I'm going to be your safari guide, and my friends, we're going to have a great 2 weeks out here in the Harambe Wildlife Preserve, so I do have a couple of safety reminders before we head out there. Please just make sure we're staying seated at all times, please. That does include the little ones. They need to be in a seat or in a lap. Please don't pick them up, don't move them around. Keep those hands, arms, legs, feet inside the trunk at all times. And we do want to remember that we are going into the homes of these animals. We are their guests, so we want to be respectful. So that just means please do not call out to the animals. Don't whistle at them. Don't yell at them. We don't want to scare them away. Alrighty, everyone. Here we are starting in the Little Ituri Forest, and it looks like right away on our right-hand side we found an okapi. Okapis are my favorite animal here on the reserve. You can see they have those beautiful stripes on their legs. They almost look like zebra stripes, but they are the only known relative of the giraffe. So if you can see those faces, they have that skull structure in common, as well as those same long prehensile tongues, just like the giraffes have. And hopefully later on, we'll be able to compare them. Now coming up on our right-hand side, right on the ground over here, this is a very large black and white bird on the right. That is a saddle-billed stork. Those birds can be quite large. They can stand up to 5 feet tall. That wingspan can be around 9 feet wide. And to give you a point of reference, that canopy above you is 10 feet wide, so that's a pretty big bird. Now when we're in the forest, we always got to keep an eye out just because forest animals use camouflage as their main form of defense. And some days they are a little bit better than others. But it looks like on our right-hand side, okay, so there are 2 completely different species right here. The antelopes that are closest to us, those are greater kudu, and the ones all the way up at the top of the hill, those are bongos, bongos. So you can see those 2 antelopes look really, really similar. They even share the same kind of camouflage. It's those white vertical lines. It's supposed to mimic the light that we see filtering through the trees. Let's get out of the forest. I want to go towards Safi River. Safi River is home to some more aquatic animals. So these animals live a little bit closer to the water. Let's go see what we got. Whoa, I see some very large white birds called pink-backed pelicans, but I also see a big old lump up there. That's a Nile hippo. We're actually really lucky to be able to see the hippos up on land and out of the water just because they spend so much time submerged in the water. They can even spend up to 8 minutes underwater without taking a breath. They do that even when they're sleeping. They come up for air whenever they need and then just go right back down, all while asleep. Now, even though the hippos spend so much time submerged in the water, they're actually really bad swimmers. They really don't know how to swim too well. So whenever we we see them moving around down there, they're usually walking or running across the bottom of the riverbed. I think I see a couple more behind the trees over there on the left. Little backsides, very nice. And it looks like we found some Nile crocodiles. Oh boy. Okay, so we do have to go over this bridge. So we're gonna go poly-poly. That does mean very slowly. So I need everyone to sit all the way down and stay seated. Believe me, you do not want to be standing up on Croc Bridge. Crocodiles are the largest crocodilian species in Africa. Average size is around 16 feet long and 500 pounds. That is just the average. They are very strong. They're very powerful predators. They are so strong, they're even able to take down prey as large as zebras and wildebeest. Which, speaking of, we are headed towards the savannah. I know that's what you've all been waiting for. But I do want to show you that this is my favorite tree here on the reserve. This one on our right-hand side, I do have a favorite. This is a baobab tree. I think they're pretty cool. They can remain leafless for about 9 months out of the year. They have really spongy bark. It's able to hold thousands of gallons of water. So some animals, like elephants, will carve some of that bark out to get to that water. That's why baobab trees are also known as the tree of life. Alright, so here we are arriving out onto the savannah. The savannah is home to many migrating animals, which means these animals are moving around all the time. Every time we come out here, we never know what we're going to see or where they're going to be. Looks like first animal we found here on our right-hand side are the Ankole cattle, also known as Watusi cattle. They are the only domesticated animal here on the savannah. If you were to ever see them out on a farm in Africa, they are a sign of wealth. Now, if we look over to our left-hand side, if you look inside the cave over there, and they're all around actually, these are African wild dogs, also known as African painted dogs. It does kind of look like those coats were splattered with paint. Those coats are as unique to them as our fingerprints are to us. They can tell each other apart by super far distances, and the wild dogs are very successful predators out in Africa. Over on our left-hand side, kind of hiding behind the bushes, there are some sable antelopes. And they always make me laugh because in any kind of fight or flight situation, they always choose fight. That is why they are the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They always choose fight, just like how we fight for these animals. Oh. Alright, looks like we're running out of the bushes over here on our left. Got the little zoomies. So the giraffes that live here, these are Maasai giraffes. Take a look at these spots. They're pretty rough and jagged around the edges. That's how we can tell they are Maasai giraffes. They are the tallest animal here on the savannah. They can get up to around 16 to 20 feet tall.
Okay, right there.
Now remember I mentioned that the okapi that we saw earlier in the forest is their only known relative. So those faces look really similar, and they both have those same long prehensile tongues. Now when we say prehensile, it means that those tongues are able to grab things like a finger. They can wrap around those leaves in those super tall trees. And giraffe tongues are around 12 inches long, a whole foot long. They are a darker purplish color. That dark color is thought to help those tongues not get sunburnt because they're eating all the time. Coming up on our right-hand side over here, some very small little antelopes. These are springbok. Those are fully grown springbok. They spring like 6 feet up and 13 feet forward whenever they get scared. It's called pronking. It is quite impressive for their very small little size. On our right, those gray animals, those are the wildebeest. I really like the wildebeest. They are also known as News GNU because that's the sound that they make. They say "noo" just like how a cow says "moo." They're one of those migrating animals. They migrate 500 to 1,000 miles every year. And sometimes they do that in herds. They're up to 1.5 million individuals. They're one of the only animals that live so densely packed like that, other than humans. Now it looks like the zebras are hiding behind the bushes over here on our right-hand side. These are Hartman's mountain zebra. They also have coats that are very unique to them. Each individual has their own unique stripe pattern. No two stripes are ever the same. That even newborns are able to tell their mothers apart in a very large zebra herd. It's quite impressive. Now let's keep on moving through the savannah over here. I think if we go this way, we might find elephant territory. Let's go see if we can find some elephants. I think I see some movement all the way in the back over there. Let's see, we might be able to get another view. To the right. Oh, yeah. It looks like we're scratching our back over there. So these are African elephants that live here. We are in Africa. They do travel in herds, so let's see if we keep on going. Maybe we can find the rest of the herd and maybe we can get a little better view. So we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna go the long way around, so everyone hold on tight. We gotta go over this bridge. It is kind of bumpy and a little rickety, so now, the elephants that live here are African elephants. They are unfortunately endangered due to reasons like poaching and habitat loss. There is a way that we can kind of help them from home. One of those ways is by buying less of an ingredient called palm oil. Palm oil is found in the palm trees and the habitats of elephants like these. So whenever they want to get that oil, they have to cut those trees down, and that unfortunately takes away from their homes. So what we can do is buy less palm oil and hopefully they'll cut down less trees. So whenever you go to the grocery store, just take a look at those ingredients lists. Just make sure that palm oil is not included. It's usually going to be in stuff like granola bars and candy bars. So just take a glance. Make sure it's not included. Or if you've ever seen that green frog sticker that says Rainforest Alliance, those are good. Rainforest Alliance products either don't have palm oil or they have a more sustainable kind. And that helps not just elephants like these, but it also helps orangutans as well. So it looks like we did find the rest of the herd. This is a much better view than that one that was hiding behind over there. Looks like this one is having a little afternoon snack. It looks like they just put some hay in their nose. Elephants are vegetarian. They do really like grasses and hay. What's funny is that because all that goes in are grasses and hay, that's all that comes out. They can actually make paper out of elephant poop. They make elephant poop paper. I guess it is a sustainable resource. Now it looks like we found a flamboyance of flamingos. A group of flamingos is known as a flamboyance. These are greater flamingos. They are the lightest pink of all flamingo types. Now if you look closely, you might be able to see there are a few in here that are still kind of white, still kind of grayish. That's because when flamingos are hatched, they come out a white grayish color. That pink coloration actually comes from the food that they eat, from the shrimp that they eat. They don't really turn fully pink till they're around 2 years of age. So they're probably still pretty young. Oh, there's a couple more elephants over there. Alright, so We are going to move just a little bit deeper into the savannah now. I see this big old mud pit over there on our left-hand side. That could be a good sign that we might see some rhinos. I know that rhinos love hanging around mud. They use it as a natural sunscreen. They use it to keep the bugs away. And that's how they stay cool as well. I don't see any quite yet, so maybe we'll see them up ahead. But no worries. Everyone be aware we are moving into big cat territory. So keep an eye out on our left-hand side. We found some cheetahs. Cheetah girls, cheetah sisters. All the cheetahs that live here on the reserve are female and they are sisters. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They can reach speeds of around 70 to 75 miles an hour. They can go from 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds. They are built for speed. They have those super sleek bodies and those super long tails. Those long tails help them steer when they're running, just like the rudder on a boat. They are sprinters. They are not marathoners. They can only run really fast for very short periods of time. Oh, to our left. There's an ostrich headed our way. My friends, we have many troublemakers here on the reserve, but this one right here is number one. Ostriches, these ostriches, they're going to follow behind us, watch. They love walking in the roads. They know they're not supposed to, causing all the traffic, so unfortunately that truck behind us is going to have to follow them. So we're going to keep on moving. We're not going to get stuck. And we are going to see a few more up ahead, so we'll talk about them in just a minute. I want to look up at these Kobe rocks over here on our left-hand side, and I do see some lions. I was just about to say, I know y'all have seen something like this before. The most famous Kobe rock formation is Pride Rock from the Lion King. And there they are, 2 female African lions. Ah, and there he is, the king himself. Looks like they're all resting, they're all sleeping. I am not surprised at all. This is prime nap time. These lions are mostly active during sunrise and sunset hours. They don't like being awake during the hottest times of the day. They're going to save their energy for when it's a little bit cooler out. And when these lions do spend 16 to 20 hours a day sleeping and resting. And when they're not doing that, the females are primarily going to be the hunters of the pride. The males like to stay back. They like to protect their territory and those cubs. So we'll let them rest, we'll let them digest. I'm sure they'll get up in a couple hours very soon. Let's go see these troublemakers up ahead. They're coming up on our right-hand side. Oh, it looks like those rhinos. There are those rhinos I was talking about. So there's those ostriches and the white rhinos over there. You can see the rhinos do kind of tilt those ears towards us every now and then, just because they do have such an incredible sense of hearing. It's to make up for their really bad sense of vision. They can only see like 5 to 10 feet in front of them. So it is kind of funny that a group of rhinos is known as a crash. A crash of white rhinos. Now those ostriches that we see, you can see they have those very long and strong legs that can run pretty fast. They also have those very large and strong wings that unfortunately are not going to help them fly. It's going to help them change directions when they're running. If you look down here to your right hand side, there are some ostrich eggs on the ground, hiding behind some grass to the right of that dirt path over there. Now, if you can see those eggs, you can see they are quite large. They can also be pretty strong. Each egg can weigh around 3 pounds each. They are so strong, a fully grown human could stand on them and they still won't break. They are the largest bird. Now we've made it to the Magadi Glen. This is where the warden's post is, so we are getting a little bit closer back to the village. The warden does take care of some goats. Oh, it looks like they're sleeping on the table. Oh, really sweet. I'm sure the warden won't mind. These are Nigerian dwarf goats. So the size of the goats we see here, this is basically their full-grown size. They're really not going to get much bigger than that. They stay pretty small, hence the name dwarf goat. I heard that those goats make a milk that is pretty sweet, pretty high in value. I mean, I haven't tried yet, but maybe that's why the warden likes keeping them around. Now, my friends, many of the animals that live here on the reserve, almost all of them are endangered or threatened to be endangered. I mentioned palm oil earlier. There are many, many ways that we can help from home. So just remember, take a little glance at those ingredients lists. Make sure palm oil is not included. We can help some animals like elephants, orangutans. But I do think one of the easiest ways we can help is just to reduce, reuse, and recycle. That helps not just the animals we saw today, but all living things here on our planet. You'll notice Disney's Animal Kingdom has plenty of recycling bins all around. If you feel like you do want to help today, but in a different way, at any merch shop here in this park, you can donate to the Disney Conservation Fund, and they do an incredible job with supporting the animals, like the ones we saw, but in their real-life homes in the wild. They do that in over 100 different countries, and I really do believe that any way that we try to help, we really can make that all, we really all can make that little difference. So I really just hope that each one of you find a little way that speaks to you. We can all make that little difference. All right, everyone, we've made it back to Harambe. Our safari has come to an end. Wow, those 2 weeks, right? They really fly. Kind of felt like 19 minutes and 37 seconds exactly. So time really flies when we're having so much fun. We had so much fun. So I guess, my friends, your adventure does not need to end here. If y'all want to see some more animals, I do highly recommend going over to the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. That's actually right next door, right here in Africa. You can see some more animals like gorillas, monkeys, mole rats, some meerkats, some okapi. They even have a hippo pool window. You can see those hippos underwater, which is quite unique. We don't get to see that here on the safari. If you want to see some other animals like tigers, bats, water buffalo, some siamangs, they live over in Asia at the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Now just be aware that all animal attractions close at 6:45 today, so that is just a little bit earlier than when the park closes. So those are just things you should do sooner rather than later. Now if you're looking for more things to do here in Africa, one of my favorite things to do